My name is Larry Buland, and I'm a faculty member, full-time faculty member. My title is instructor, and I enjoy teaching in real estate, finance, and business. And I'm now in my second year at MCC. Before coming to Metropolitan Community College, I've done a number of things. When I first left the university, I was actually accepted to the Nebraska State Patrol. That was my beginning. I then started my own company, sold that, went to work for a Fortune 500 company, and then I started two more companies and eventually went to work as a business manager for a construction company in Omaha. I had the opportunity to get promoted, eventually buy that company, and grew it into a rather large construction company here in town, a multi-million-dollar business, and that's what I've been doing up until I switched careers really and became a full-time faculty member here at MCC. I've also been teaching. I'm an adjunct professor at the University of Nebraska at Omaha in the new College of Business. Teaching has been a natural bridge for me. One reason is that my mother was a Millard Public School teacher. Before that, I was born and raised in Minnesota. Occasionally people still think there's a Norwegian accent there, but when I go home they think I have a Southern accent. So my mother was a Millard school teacher, and that's where I graduated from. And then I went on to school. I had some other scholarship offers, but went to school at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. As I mentioned, I had left early actually to join the State Patrol. I then came back as an adult learner, both for my bachelor's and then on to my master's degree. And actually, growing up in the Omaha area, being in business has been so helpful when I now teach business to Omaha students. And it's also been helpful to be an adult learner myself, to understand, especially at the community college level, when we get so many people coming back. I really understand what they're going through, and I really appreciate their hard effort. I loved a lot of things about the business world that I was in. I enjoyed primarily the work and the people. And one thing about the construction business that kind of carries over into education is that when you're done, you leave something behind of value, something that people use and they see of worth. And education is very similar. We work hard to try and impart something of value that lasts a lifetime for students. You know, as I was being tested for personality tests, going through school or, a job or whatever it might be, teaching always showed up as a career possibility for my personality type. And having had the opportunity to try it, and I still am at the University of Nebraska, that gave me a chance to kind of put my toe in the water. And then coming to Metropolitan Community College when this opportunity arose was really almost an answer to a prayer. I firmly believe in the mission of the community college, and I think Metropolitan Community College is really a strong community asset that's needed and effective. And I appreciate the academic freedom that we're allowed at MCC, where we can try new things to reach our students and impart new thinking to them so that they can go out and do something fruitful, something that they desire to do with their life. And so it's that sort of open yet collaborative spirit at MCC that keeps me here. I see a lot of different things in school, the different ages that I teach, and I see in myself a young person who thought I knew everything. But as I got older and realized there's many things I didn't know, I began to value the input of those that had much more experience. Really, the wisdom of gray-headedness is a phrase that's used. So in business, I actually hired a man about 20 years my senior to be my mentor. He was a former vice president and financial officer of Creighton University. So he was very experienced both with people and with business. I have a lot of mentors, Christian men in the ministry that I'm in, showing me how to really live an appropriate Christian life, even in this very difficult world that we have. And at Metropolitan Community College, I really look at the experienced faculty as my mentors, and I try and take something from each one. When I first went to the classroom, I didn't really know what to do. I knew what I liked and how I learned, and so I started by how I learned. But I've developed sort of a teaching philosophy over time, and that is I began to see the power of example, being honest with the students, and then using examples on the topic that we're discussing. So whether we learn by hearing or learn by reading, almost all of us learn well by doing. And so my philosophy is to bring as many practical, real-life examples into the classroom in some version of a hands-on approach for the students to have an experience even in school. What I didn't expect after I began teaching, and I've started to enjoy, is that as the quarters go by, people remember me and they see me in the hallway, or they'll wave to me through a window while I'm teaching a class. And I wonder occasionally, what do they think? What do they remember? They're smiling, so that's a good sign. But I hope that they'll remember that I cared about their success. And if they would work hard, I will work hard, and together we can succeed. One of the biggest challenges for me has been to identify the different needs and effective methods to reach each student. Every student is so different in their learning ability, in their background, in their academic ability, and even in their future goals. They're all going different directions. So to find out what can work to reach them, to keep an entire class engaged, whether it's online or in a room together, has been a big challenge, but that's really what produces the most joy for me. In fact, I would not want to teach only online. I really enjoy the face-to-face back and forth and the feedback that I get from the students. Metropolitan Community College has really opened up my eyes to so many teaching philosophies and theories and studies that are being done about how to teach effectively. And of course, technology is playing a key role in that. In fact, I teach in the classroom. I use technology from simple projectors to laptops. I teach online, and I teach hybrid versions of courses that are both in class and online. I've introduced more math in one of my courses than existed before, and so I encourage them to pull out their phones or their tablets and use them at least for the calculator side, and occasionally I invite them to look up something on the internet. It's my personal experience that if I invite them to use it in a productive way, I really don't have the challenge of dealing with them using it for personal use and social media while class is going on. If I can keep them engaged, we seem to put technology to good use, and studies have shown that online and hybrid courses often yield a higher learning result than the traditional in-class format. I really enjoy getting up every day to come to work. In fact, I start work right when I get up. I begin reviewing emails and grading papers while the first cup of coffee is brewing. And I enjoy too that every quarter we have a new group of students. And I wonder about each one, which campus I'm teaching at, which online version. But you know, they almost all turn out to be my favorite classes. And so I'm motivated by the new people, the new experiences that I get to enjoy really every quarter and every day. If I were to leave people with something, what I see in my classrooms prompts me to recognize that families are in turmoil today. And so I would share two things. One, to parents, I would say, read to your children every day without fail, and to the rest of us, just do the next right thing. This has been a big career change for me, and often people ask me what I think about it. And I truly enjoy teaching, and I enjoy being part of a full-time group at MCC. I do other things with my time, but this certainly has my main attention. I do all the cooking in our family, and it turns out both of my adult sons, and they have the children also, they do the cooking in their family. So that's one of my biggest joys and stress relievers. I golf poorly, and we enjoy doing hiking and biking. It's a constant battle today just to keep fit and keep healthy. But to get up and go to work every day can kind of be draining unless we balance it out. And we have been able to do that, my wife and I, and really helps me enjoy meeting a room full of students every day. This has really been a new adventure that I've embarked on at MCC, and I hope that I'm early in this adventure. And so really consistent with my sort of teaching in the classroom, I teach a course at UNO called Constant Quality Improvement. And that's something I promote in my classes everywhere, and it's something that I want to apply myself. So I have so much to learn about teaching that the challenge for me and what's next for me really is to continue to work at improving my teaching ability. In my spare time, I apply that to teaching in the ministry and even conducting free home Bible studies. I'm Larry Buland, a full-time faculty member and instructor at Metropolitan Community College in the areas of business, finance, and real estate.